We all grew up with a story, a kind of a silent script. Work hard, get good grades, earn the degree, land the job, find the one. And then you will be happy. That's what we were promised, a life that adds up like an equation. Input effort, output happiness, follow the steps and fulfillment will follow. So I did. I studied, graduated, landed a great job, checked all the boxes, built a life that looked perfect on paper. But at 1 a.m., lying in bed with my phone lighting up my face, scrolling through highlight reels of other people's lives, I felt it. That emptiness, a kind of a silence that echoed even in a room full of notifications. It's strange, isn't it? We live in a world where people are more connected than ever before. Messages flying across the globe in milliseconds, and yet, I felt invisible. Turns out I wasn't alone. A global study by Meta and Gallup across 142 countries revealed that nearly 1 in 4 people feel fairly or very lonely. That's over 1 billion human beings. Not 1,000, not 1 million, 1 billion. In the age of infinite connection, we are lonelier than ever. Especially Gen Z, people between 13 and 28 years old, the most digitally immersed generation, now faces the highest rates of anxiety, isolation, and depression. And here's the paradox. Technology has given us contact, instant, constant, and everywhere. But somewhere along the way, we mistook it for connection. So maybe we should start asking ourselves, what if we have been chasing the wrong kind of connection? When I was younger, I was the guy who always messaged first. I never waited to be invited. I wanted to be with people, to connect. But as the years passed, I found myself surrounded by more connection, and yet I felt more alone. How many of you have ever felt that way? If you use social media, no matter your age, gender, nationality, and whether you use Instagram, Facebook, or even LinkedIn, I'm willing to bet that you have felt the same. We've got tools to message someone across the world instantly, but we hesitate to even call that one friend who lives 5 minutes away. This realization hit me hard. So hard that it led me to build a company around it. We are in a paradox. A reality where connection is easy, but belonging. And I don't think it's because we don't want to connect. I think it's because we're stuck with believing that distant connection is the same as emotional presence. Let's unravel together how subtle this is. You message someone, haha, that's funny, without even laughing. You react to someone's story with a heart and feel no warmth. These little gestures feel like connections, but they are not real. It's more like empty colors for the soul. They fill the space for a second, but they don't nourish us. Have you ever felt your phone vibrate, just to check and see that there was nothing there? That's phantom vibration syndrome. It's like our brains are so wired for the next notification that we have started hallucinating them. That's how deep addiction goes. We are chasing connection, but we are getting only noise. We say we should catch up, but we never do. We come home from work tired, telling ourselves that we will reach out when things calm down, but things never really calm down. Sometimes we cancel at the last minute because we are too tired. But we are not too tired to watch Netflix or scroll for an hour in bed. And sometimes we finally sit across from someone we love, and both of us are on our phones. For a long time, we tell ourselves that we are fine on our own, that being busy is enough, that we don't need to lean on anyone. It's a story many of us tell ourselves that but independence means we can handle it all alone. It's easier to act like everything is okay, rather than to admit otherwise. Not because we are lonely, but because admitting the need to connect makes us feel vulnerable. But over time, we begin to realize that this is part of the problem, not the solution. The busyness, the distractions, the constant screen times, they are not signs of a full life. They are ways to avoid the deeper need we all have, to be truly seen and to belong. We are not just missing conversations, we are missing moments. We are hungry for something real, not curated, not filtered, not optimized for engagement, just real. And this kind of connection doesn't come from scrolling, it comes from sharing. And I don't mean sharing posts, I mean sharing presence. And presence is awkward, is silence, and eye contact, and not knowing what to say. But that's the whole point. This is where bonding happens. You cannot download trust. You cannot DM your way to someone else's heart. You have to show up. So what do? And the answer is two simple things. The first thing we should do is to start considering our relationship with social media. Social media gave us a promise. It told us we would be closer, more in touch, more together. But what it really gave us was a stage. It's like being on stage, constantly acting, not just for others, but even for us. And over time, that performance can feel more real than the person underneath. We lose track of what's authentic, what's true. We perform confidence, we perform joy, we perform connection. And performing is exhausting. It's smiling for a selfie when your soul feels heavy. We've become visible, but not vulnerable. Connected, but not committed. And I remember one night clearly. A regular night out in Athens, nothing fancy, just music, drinks, and friends. Or so it seemed. I looked around. Everyone's phone was out. People weren't dancing. They were recording dancing. They weren't laughing. They were filming someone else's laugh, hoping it might go viral. Hoping maybe the algorithm would finally notice them. In that moment, I didn't feel like I was in a room full of people. I felt like I was in a room full of avatars. Curated, filtered, projected versions of who we wanted the world to see. It felt like something out of Orwell's 1984. I wasn't really being seen, just watched. Because here's the thing, we were not being seen. We were being scanned by algorithms, by strangers, even by ourselves. Because online, we don't always show who we really are. We curate the best parts, trying to look a certain way, say the right things, fit into expectations. And in that moment, it hit me. Real connection isn't something we can measure with likes or views. After all, why is the like button shaped like a heart on Instagram? Because deep down, what we are really craving isn't approval or attention, but authentic connection, the kind that comes from being fully seen and present. You feel it when someone is there. No phones, no filter, just them. And if friendship is suffering in the age of distractions, romance is gasping for air. We've started thinking love should be instant, like a notification, but love, the kind that nourishes us, takes time. Not just to fall, but to build. It's not found on screens, it's found on those quiet nights spent not saying much, but still being there. We think we're looking for the one, but maybe we're just looking for someone who will look up from the phone and choose us, again and again. And here's the uncomfortable truth I had to face. Technology didn't isolate me. My relationship with it did. It wasn't a screen, it was the mask that I put when I looked into it. And it's that mask that I have to take off. So instead of waiting for technology to help me, I did something different. I started inviting people to do things in real life. I joined a running club that I discovered on TikTok. I invited colleagues to go to the cinema after work through Microsoft Teams. And I played tennis with my friends instead of just texting them on Instagram. And everything started to change. Start small and everything will change for you too. And sooner or later, it will become a part of your lifestyle. Text 3 friends after this talk. Not to plan something soon, but to do something this week. Upload a story, not to impress, but to invite. The second thing to do is to find our third place. Sociologist Ray Oldenburg gave us a powerful way to think about it in the late 80s and named it the third place. The idea is simple, but profound. Beyond home and work, we need a third kind of space. A neutral ground where people gather naturally, connect, and feel a space of belonging. Your first place is home. Your second is work or school. But the third place, this is where belonging lives. It's the corner coffee shop where the barista remembers your name. The barbershop and the nail salon where conversations feel like therapy. The gym where nods turn into friendships. That space between personal and professional was once the heart of community. But now, in today's world, for many of us, that third place has vanished. Even in the most crowded cities with people living shoulder by shoulder, we are separated by invisible walls. Not because others aren't there, but because we have forgotten how to invite each other in. In Japan, the crisis was so severe, they appointed a minister of loneliness. The UK did the same. It isn't just a feeling anymore, it's a public health emergency. And then came remote work. We were told it would set us free. And in many ways it did, but no one gave us the tools to rebuild community once the office disappeared. And for digital nomads, those chasing sunsets across continents, the paradox is even sharper. You can wake up in Bali, sleep in Lisbon, and still feel like a ghost in paradise. Because if you're not intentional, your friendships become as fleeting as your Wi-Fi connection, as temporary as your next Airbnb. So the question becomes, what do we do now? How do we find our third place? How do we rebuild what we have lost? Not just digitally, but deeply. And the answer? Get out of your comfort zone. Go to the basketball court near your house and ask if you can join the game. Join a running club even if you're not the fastest one there. Walk with someone without headphones, without a podcast. Just talk. Start small. Board game Tuesdays, basketball Fridays, a silent book club where silence speaks volumes. One of the most profound moments of connection I've experienced recently wasn't through a screen. It was through sneakers of pavement. Running club Sunday morning. We started as strangers, we finished as friends. And yes, as I already mentioned, I found it through a TikTok video. Let me set the record straight. I'm passionate about technology. I work in technology. I believe in its power to heal us, but only if we redesign the way we relate to it. Technology isn't the real enemy. Disconnection is. During pandemic, video calls allowed families separated by distance to share meals, celebrate birthdays, and support each other emotionally. Technology enabled connection when physical presence wasn't possible, showing its true potential to bring people together. Meanwhile, millions have turned into AI companion apps for comfort. Digital friends built to listen, to chat, and to offer emotional support when human connection feels out of reach. In fact, globally, the 6 leading AI companion apps serve around 52 million users. So while these apps feel like a lifeline, they also underscore the reality that many are opting for an algorithm's empathy over real human interaction. So the real problem isn't technology. It's how we have allowed it to replace connection instead of reinforcing it. Imagine a different kind of tech. Not tools that hook our attention, but tools that hand it back to us. What if future apps didn't compete for our attention, but created space for our presence? What if your phone didn't buzz when someone liked your post, but when someone nearby is free for a coffee? Yes, technology can be a tool for bringing us together, but sometimes we don't need it. You don't have to wait for an app update to reconnect. You are the update. From all the things I've been trying to explain to you in the past 15 minutes, let me wrap up and share with you the 4 things I had to unlearn that I once believed were true. Number 1, busy means fulfilled. We wear busyness like a badge of honor. We glorify the hustle, the full calendar. But I've learned something. Being busy doesn't mean you're connected. It often just means you're distracted. Sometimes being busy is how we run away from ourselves. Number 2, being online equals to being close. We confuse connection with contact. If we are messaging, commenting, reacting, we think we are close, but digital proximity is not emotional intimacy. Number 3, I'm fine on my own. We love to say. And yes, self-love is powerful. Independence is beautiful. But isolation, dressed as strength, is still loneliness. The truth is, we need people. We need friends that challenge us, cheer for us, sit with us in silence and say, I see you, even if you don't feel seen. And yes, connection takes effort, but so does everything else that matters. And number 4, love will just happen. That one day someone will magically appear and fill our emptiness. But I've learned love doesn't just happen. Like any real connection, it requires risk, presence, and intention. It requires honesty, the courage to say, I want more than this. Love isn't about avoiding loneliness. It's about choosing closeness again and again, even if it's risky. So what do? We unlearn. Maybe the story well told needs a rewrite. Not work hard, get good grades, find the one, but show up when it's easier to cancel. Speak up when silence feels safer. Reach out even if others don't reply right away. Laugh loudly, not for the story, but for the soul. Be awkward, be unfiltered, be real. Look up from your phone and into someone else's eyes. Because at the end of our lives, we won't remember the posts we made or the lives we changed, but the hands we held and the hearts we touched. Connection isn't something we scroll for. It's something we choose. One moment, one person, one brave act at a time. And remember, we don't need more followers. We need more people we can call when we feel lost. Thank you.